Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here today. So I'm shooting this at the end of my week, and this has been spring break week here. Now I obviously have not gone anywhere for spring break, but I kind of like to look as if I did, you know? I would like to bring the tan back into my skin and have like this bronzy, just back from vacation glow, right? This time of year I feel like Bub's so busy with his work, some other projects he's doing. There's probably a great trip to Destin in the coming months in my future, but we just didn't go anywhere this week. And to top it off, I've had this cold, and I was thinking the other day just how much my face is like screaming for moisture these past few days. So I thought I'm going to do something that not only restores the moisture in my skin, but makes my whole face just look like I've been off on the beach for a week, getting some sun, looking refreshed, looking rested. That is the kind of thing we're going for, my friends. I think it can totally be faked. So whether you've been drinking margaritas on the beach for the past week, or you've been chasing kids and blowing your nose for a week, this look is going to blur that line, okay? I already have on all of my morning skincare and also my sunscreen, and then I'm going to go in with one of my most hydrating base products. This is my Clinique Moisture Surge, and it's the Sheer Tint Hydrator, and when I really feel like my skin needs a drink, this is one of the best things to go to. So I use it in Universal Light. Sorry for the raspy voice. I honestly woke up feeling 10 times better today, but my voice doesn't show it at all. I am a little congested still. But anyway, I'm going to squeeze out a small pearl-sized amount of that and just get it around on my skin, and I just feel like my nose area, my mouth, even just areas all over my face, they feel so much drier than usual. And the cold and blowing your nose has a lot to do with that. So I'm going to take my Real Techniques Expert face brush and just get this all blended in. And there's just a beautiful hydrated glow that comes from this. It is light coverage, okay? So we're just getting it all worked in. Look how dewy and fresh. I love it. See that? It provided just enough coverage to kind of like smooth out some skin tone overall, but you can practically see, you know, just how hydrated my skin now feels, and really get it around those places that have gotten so worked over this week. Then we want to use a concealer that's really going to be equally hydrating, because I'm going to get around my nose, I'm going to get around my eye area. I'm going to use my Kosas Revealer here, and it's in the shade 2.5C. So oftentimes, I've really been exclusively using this with the Revealer foundation, but the other day I tried it just to see like how it would do alongside something much lighter coverage, and it actually looked really beautiful with this. Like this concealer has a way of meshing into the skin and not really leaving like any kind of line or making your skin look like, here was my concealer zone, here was my, you know, rest of my coverage zone. It really just meshes nicely. Look how beautiful. So I'm just dabbing in it with the same brush, nice and easy. That nose, oh. I got some of the Puffs Kleenex or facial tissue. Isn't it odd how we just call it all Kleenex? But I got some of the Puffs ones that have the Vicks scent infused, and those things are serious. Like, your nose feels like cold inside after you use one of those. So now I feel like the coverage on my skin has been stepped up quite a bit, but I am so like juicy and really, really hydrated and decrustified in the nose area, you know? So then what I want to do is just really lightly set the under eye and T-zone. I'm not going to do anything with the eye look that's going to really create a staying power concern on the lower lash line. So I'm just going to set like T-zone and under eye very, very lightly. And I'm going to use my Dalton Perfecting Treatment Powder. This was one of the things in the Boise Beauty collab, but as far as I know, it's something you can always get from this line. It's a really nice little loose powder, and I'm dabbing that here on the under eye, and I'm not gonna like go crazy setting it. Like, I remember when I was using my cloud set the other day, I just went back and back and back because I was trying to achieve some certain texture. Here I'm just gonna do one go round and just kind of let it be, because I do need the hydration. My skin has just been so dry. I'm gonna let it have it, you know, and just kind of do a once over on T-zone and under eye. Let the rest be. So one of the keys to faking this spring break look is going to be bronzer, all right? So I'm going to get my Wet Shady Beaches bronzer here from Wet n Wild, and we're just going to go hog wild with this. I'm getting some on my BK Beauty 107 brush. That didn't feel like the right number at first, but yes, it is. I only use it every single day. So, and then I'm just going to go around my hairline. I'm really going to build this up for the look of a tan. This is a nice deep bronzer. And if you can build it little by little, it really can look super natural. Super natural, not like I'm alien mode or something. Look what I'm starting to get here. So I'm just going deepest, you know, right at the hairline, and then just buffing around. Look at that. It's so good. I love it. And then I'm going to contour as well. Trying not to drop my contour too low. So I'm really hitting kind of on that bone instead of way down in it. You know what I mean? This bronzer, like if you get this, just be advised, it only takes like a dab in and you've got a lot. Bronze Goddess, it's happening. And we're going to make sure we get down here as well. Not only does this kind of like contour that jawline area, but you know, it makes the coloring consistent. Down here on the neck. We don't want to be a separate person down there. Do we have enough tan going on? See, I always feel like when I put on my bronzer, I'm a slight bit lighter in my camera monitor than I am in real life. Now I've got the teensiest bit on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of graze over the nose, top of the cheeks area for a real traditional, like where bronzer would actually hit type of look. We can always go back and add more, but I feel like this is a really good base amount. Then we're wanting that absolutely sun-kissed glow to the cheeks, and I think a pink blush is the best way to get there. You might not always think that this color of blush is going to be the ticket, but it totally is. So this is my Persona Super Blush in the new shade called Bubble, and I'm just going to pick it up on my e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm going to go right on the top of the cheek here. Like I'm practically thinking of hitting it where I would do a highlight almost. Top of the apple of the cheek and then on up. A really high blush. Right up here, and then carry it up. I think it truly looks so convincing. I'm going to let it graze right over top of the nose also, but I don't have much on my brush when I'm doing this. I don't know, friends. Has she been sitting outside at Pompano Joe's for a week, or has she just been in Southern Illinois? The things we can do with makeup. Okay, so there we are with that beautiful cheek now. And I want to add some more glow to the skin. I'm using my Lumi Glow Nude Compact here in Moon Kissed, and I'm going to go to, let's use this shade right here. These powders are so darn firm, they make you think that it's not going to work out for you, like that this is not going to be a very good product, but then look, it totally translates onto the skin. Look at that glow, okay? We want some over here too. I gotta tell you, I have been drinking all my water. I am such a religious water drinker. I have been since like early 2020. When I was having that string of migraines, I really learned my lesson. But maybe I need to be drinking even extra during the cold. Maybe I need to bust into the kids' Pedialyte. But look at this glow, y'all. All right, now we're going to take a little bit right here. I just love this. Love that look. And it's like weightless. This is so much lighter than any other highlight that I've tried. By that, I mean like a lot of highlighters that would turn out to be this glowy, you would dip your brush in and there'd be just a ton of product on it. Here, it's like you wonder if you actually got anything, and then junk, it's there. Junk. Now I'm going to use some Fix Plus because it's out here and handy from my MAC video, and I do love the scent. Oh yes, right now on me. The dewiness and hydration, the tan. I love it so much. I love it. We need to do our brows. Just a quick brow will be fine. I love this for a quick brow. My Wet n Wild retractable pencil. It's a little bit thicker. It just does the job real fast. It's amazing how the day you wake up with your voice sounding like an actual frog, that's the day that physically you actually feel your best. You know what song just came back into my head? G-L-A-M-O-R-O-U-S, yeah. Little old school Fergie. I feel like that song takes me back to the apartment days. That's when I remember that from. Moving down here to Southern Illinois, being in that little apartment, starting my life as a news reporter, producer / whatever they just let me come in and do, just so I could get my foot in the door. Straight hustling. So raking that through the brows, and then here we are with our little spoolie. We're just making sure, is it all even? Can we smooth anything out? Yes, we can. We don't need a perfect brow. We kind of want to seem kind of carefree, you know? We just got back from vacation. We can't be bothered for like the most perfect brow ever. Let's thick it, stick it on top of this. This is from NYX. There's a lot of little fibers in it, but I do like the way it holds and kind of helps the brows stand up a bit. Easily remedied. At this point, what are we thinking? Do we need like a little more bronzer? Do we need a little more anything? Why not? Just adding slightly. Okay, now for the eye, I was thinking we could go one or two ways with this. We could do like a really barely there eye. We could do a bronzy eye. I want to play into the bronziness, so I'm going to do a bronzy eyeshadow look. And I've got my Milani eyeshadow primer here. We're just going to dab that on. Surface of the skin is looking like an absolute dream, I must say. Kosas concealer did well. But the Clinique gives you just a really hydrated base. So I pulled out my Huda Beauty Nude Medium palette. Check out the bronziness here. You know, this is going to be great for playing into that really rich bronzy tone. So I'm going to start with this shade right down here. It's kind of a dusty rose. Get a little bit on my crease brush. I love working with the Huda shadows. I really do feel like they're some of the more user-friendly ones. In terms of like, they still put out creative palettes, I feel, and interesting things, but the shadows themselves, I think, are easier to work with than a lot of high-end brands. You don't go into a matte shadow and are like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed by all this dust that just kicked up. No, they stay firm, but they're still really pigmented. Okay, just working that shade in, kind of bringing it up. I want this shade to kind of extend and give me this hazy blown out thing. So same shade, I'm just like adding a little more and working it above where I first put it. Okay, amazing. Now we want to go a little deeper. I'm going to go to this shade right up here, Beautiful Terracotta. That's going to sweep into the outer crease. Yes, ma'am. Love some warmth. I really like the deep version of this palette as well. It's very pretty. Here's what we're looking like now. I'm going to go to this deepest color, and I'm first going to work it in just a little bit with this same Profusion crease brush. And then I'm going to try just kind of glowing all over the lid instead of my usual dark outer lid. Okay, and whatever makes you feel creative. So maybe we can work in a couple of these different like bronzy colors. Let's do this copper. It's right in the middle. Pick up some of that with your flat brush. Oh, mamacita. Yes. Let's do about 2/3 of the lid in this copper goodness, like literally melted down metal. Oh my gosh. It's not literally melted down metal. Why did I use the word literally there? Sorry, that's the kind of thing Bub would catch me on. He were here. Ugh, glowing, glowing, glowing. Now I do spy a bit of fallout coming from that, but guess what? Boop, boop, gone, 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 gone. Further in, we have so many like glitzy tones here. We could go more rosy, but I'm going to go with this more bronzy shade. Okay, so we did the copper, we're going to go into bronze. I love how these shimmers apply with the brush with a great amount of shimmery intensity, but no need for me to use my finger to get there, okay? And I'm kind of letting my brush go up above the crease a bit to maximize like that surface area. Adding, letting it sweep up a bit. Oh, love that. Down here, this color, just a little bit, just a little definition there, that's all we need. I'm not going for a real smoky thing. Gosh, that color did something for my actual eye color. Sitting here in person, the brown of my eye looks more like yellowish, like maybe a little more greenish yellowish. Done with the eye palette. I want to do a little light liner in the lower inner rim because I want to look rested. I want to look like I've been resting for the week. So I'm gonna fake that by putting it in my lower inner rim. Now, I was at the eye doctor recently, and he was making some small talk about not putting things there, and I don't remember why he said that that's not a good idea, but I remember him saying that. So you might have noticed that lately I haven't been doing that. But it hasn't caused any problems with my eyes because they did some kind of like picture of my eyes. This was just a random checkup, but they do some picture of your eye that lets them see the entire eyeball. He's like, your eyes are in absolute perfect health. I'm like, well, thank you so much. And then we were talking about makeup or whatever, and then he said something about not putting things on your waterline. And I might have glazed over just a little bit when that was being explained, but I need it for this look, okay? Okay, Doc, if you're watching. Caviar Stick in Plum. Plum is so pretty with bronze. I think there's a reason why in a lot of bronzy palettes we see a plummy shade. Like this shade kind of makes me think plum a bit, you know, in this palette. But my thought is I'm just going to give myself a little depth at the lash line. I'm going to do my lazy liner. It's so much easier when you look down into a mirror. Okay, so you can really get it in there, but it's still like a soft, smudgy line. It looks like a smudged out line, but you didn't even have to smudge it. It's just thicker than your usual line would be. And it just glides on like we're not even trying. What a trick, you know? Like the shadow stick is liner. You gotta try that. If you hate eyeliner, you especially need to try it. Okay, then we're gonna go on with some mascara. Get those lashes standing up. Yes, we are. Standing at attention. And I could use any number of new mascaras. I think I'm gonna use the Max Stack again today. Boop. Fumble. But she didn't let go of her eyelash curler. I gave my whole take on this mascara in my last video, so you can watch that for even more matte goodness. But I do feel like it's a buildable mascara, and it did go on and hold my curl very well. The one complaint I would have had on staying power, which I put this in my comments section of that last video, one issue was just what I put on my lower lash line did smudge a bit. Okay, so watch that. It's not a lower lash mascara for me. Boy, can it do those upper lashes. Yes, it looks thick and dark, makes an impact. So my mascara is done, and then we're going to spruce up the lips. I'm going to use something that's really hydrating. Again, we still need the hydration. I have this Tarte C H2O balm. It came in a little trio, and it's in the shade Sandy Toes. So this is sort of a nude, and it does feel really good. And I remember talking about how I thought these were like the next coming of Tarte lip surgeons, you know? Really balmy. Nice. Then I want to bring in a little bit of richness on the outside, so I'm going to use Live on the Edge. Now, I didn't say this is my beach look, okay, because you're probably thinking like, oh, these multiple steps, how could she? No, this is not my beach look. This is my, I want to look like I just went on spring break, okay? We're just trying to recreate the full picture of a bronze goddess, all right? Doesn't matter how long it took us to get there. Look how pretty those two are kind of combining. Anyone else excited for March Madness? I love getting my bracket all sorted out and everything. It's so much fun. And then we're going to do a gloss on top. This is Rosy Bronze from the Milani Keep It Full line. One of my faves from that line. It's really glimmery and pretty. And it will just set off this look. And it will have a nice, like, cooling, soothing feel on the lips, actually. That feeling when it's all coming together. I feel so good about it, my friends. Like, I really enjoy the bronziness. I love the cheek. Remember that blush? Like, maybe we need a little more, but the hot pink blush always gives kind of a sun-kissed glow. And then that highlight, just really nice. Really gives the skin more of a look of hydration and health than we had before. The bronzy eye and bronzy lip are just our way of playing into that overall tone and being even more convincing with the bronziness because it's just like bronze everywhere. So yeah, we're hydrated, we're glowing, we're tan, and we're loving life. Hey, if I didn't know me and then I just saw me, I'd probably believe that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope if you went somewhere on spring break that you had a lovely time and have safe travels back home. And if you stayed at home like me, I hope you had a great time as well. Remember, happiness happiness is not where you are. It's your state of mind wherever you are. Don't forget to find that joy and that contentment in those small moments, those everyday things, because that's really where it all comes from. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you again very soon, and I love you. Bye.